Hello, Internet, and welcome to DieRolling. We are DieRolling, and before I say anything more, I'm going to bring in a little something for you.
Pink lemonade?
Mom!
And welcome back.
Right, so before we get started, I thought I'd give us a little bit of an intro. So who are all of us? So we are DieRolling.
I think we're streaming.
Sorry?
I think we're streaming.
Why don't you think we're streaming?
I think we're streaming.
Okay.
I think it's all a big joke.
Right.
I actually don't think we're streaming to a certain point. He'll say it being live. Yeah, it didn't come up with live or not.
Huh? There you go.
Carry on as if we are. We'll find out if we're live.
Maybe we're not live.
We're live.
We're in!
We are.
Thank you for that intermission there.
Doubting my technical prowess.
You can tell it's day one.
Yeah.
So apart from the general descent, so we are DieRolling. So who are we? We're a group of mates. We all play D&D together, as you're about to find out. We live out in the middle of the countryside. And a lot of the people who we were chatting to before we started this up had never seen D&D before. So a little bit about D&D. It is apparently the world's most popular tabletop role-playing game. Basically, that means it's a story, but in our heads. So we're going to do a lot of chatting to each other. We're going to do a lot of rolling dice. There's some gamey stuff in there, which you'll hear about as we go through. But most of it's about talking to each other and getting involved in a character and a story. So what are we doing? We're going to be here on Twitch weekly at 7:30 UK time on a Tuesday. And then afterwards, we're going to upload all the videos onto YouTube. So you'll get to hear us accusing each other of not actually streaming, all that kind of stuff. And basically, we're going to be playing D&D and having a laugh. So hopefully you can log in. Hopefully you enjoy it, give us some feedback. And we can hear from you guys about what you enjoy about it, the experience. So it should be good.
Thank you very much, Ollie. And that's the last time you'll hear me refer to him as Ollie, as each of our characters here have their own names. Which you'll see just below their personage, hither and hither. Now, thank you all for joining me here today. Are we ready?
I think I'm ready. Oh, yeah. So excited. Very excited.
My name's Jack. I am the DM.
What's your DM name?
The DM, by the way, stands for Dungeon Master, but it might be a GM. I think it might be a GM. Some people say Dungeon Master. Games Master. Because, to begin with, we're not in a dungeon.
True.
And so it begins. Zolan.
I'm a first.
The sun has set, and moonlight now illuminates the dirt track that you have been following south, intersecting a vast, sun-baked plain, accompanied by patches of grass interspersed with tufts of brush, sandstone boulders and rocks, and a few solitary hazel trees. You are harrowed by a steady rainfall, which has drenched your clothes right through.
Oh, my beard.
Over the din of the rain, you make out the sound of rushing water. As you near the source, you see a tree trunk precariously spanning a 20-foot wide, fast-flowing river running east to west, swelling from the downpour. The moonlight accentuates its current. A dark, hooded figure stands staring ominously toward the water. Line!
Look around, see if there's anybody else.
After a moment, the hooded figure lowers his hood and stares directly toward you. Zolan, Claro, could you please describe to one another what the other sees?
Can you go first?
Go ahead.
You see a gnome.
Ah.
A gnome. It's quite hard to get it through the video. A little rock
Oh,
gnome.
you're an old man.
I'm an old man gnome. I am Zolan Old Man Rope Gnome. I look a little bit like this, but I don't look like a young man with a beard. I look like an old gnome dressed in something like this. You know, I'm not wearing any armour, I've not got any leather on. I'm just like about my business. Basically.
On the grassy knoll.
On the grassy knolls, yeah. Just about my business walking around. To your eyes, I probably look like a 70-year-old man, but I'm about a 350-year-old gnome.
Wow.
So yeah,
Oh, that's
with the human scales, I'm
How
about
tall
70
is a
years old.
gnome?
I'm 3'6".
You're really little.
Yeah,
Okay.
3'6", green eyes, I'm dead pale.
Okay.
And here where it says scars, there is no scars.
Oh,
There is only wrinkles.
nice.
Alright, only
So you've never done a
wrinkles.
hard day's work.
He has. He's sat by the pond with a fishing rod. He's pushed a wheelbarrow about.
Okay, so you see Claro, a half elf. You can tell by his pointy ears, but his kind of more rounded human facial features. He has a simple hood and very simple clothing. Looks very dirty. He's quite thin and low on muscle mass. He looks worn out. He's holding a dagger in his right hand. Although he's on a log, he looks like he hasn't got great footing and looks disorientated.
Thank you. To the east, out of the corner of your eye, you see a long-eared humanoid floating rapidly downstream towards you.
Floating.
Not 40 feet away. It's difficult to make out as it bobs frantically in the seething current. But it appears anguished and in some peril. It's floating towards you both.
I think Clara will shout, "Hello there in the water!"
The creature seems like it's trying to respond somehow, but it's floating towards you as you stand on your log, with this gnome the other side.
I look very good on a log.
It continues to float closer in the seething river.
Do you know this fella?
Oh no.
I don't know you.
A year of that.
MJ! I was there.
Good.
Beautiful. I don't know. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm on my way. On my way to Weird Wit. You can't have this conversation. Do you know this
Bobbing
fella?
closer.
I will pack my satchel and I've got a length of rope. I'm just going to throw it into the river.
Okay, so you throw this
Yeah.
length of rope out into the
Do
river.
you hold the end?
The rope hits this creature almost across the chest or neck. Nolus, please describe how you free yourself from this river.
Ooh, fantastic. So I can move. Okay.
Feeling returns to you.
Great. Someone's starting to get feeling above my hand. Nolus will grab hold of the end of the rope. He's obviously struggling quite a lot. He's almost like coming out of some kind of stiffness. Grabs hold of the end of this. You're such a mature group. Oh, stiffness.
Can I sit somewhere else, please?
Yeah, that's the second erection joke of the evening. I apologise. So he's going to grab hold of it and not the erection, the rope, and seemingly effortlessly, you notice that he's very swift in the water as soon as he gets moving back. And using the kind of pulling on your arm, the rope, jumps relatively effortlessly onto the side of the log, if shivering quite intently.
As this creature emerges onto this log, the night sky and the moonlight accentuating its features, the gnome stood one side of the log, the hooded figure on the centre of the log precariously balancing. Across the riverbank to the south, the other side from where you are, something else catches your eye. You notice a small canvas tent sheltered between a large sandstone rock and two weather-beaten trees. Clinging atop the rock, a figure lies still. The tent is encircled by 5 hyenas stalking their prey.
Already, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
You're going to die. You're not sat on a rock surrounded by hyenas.
Pretty much struck at the end. What do we see about your?
Oh yeah, I should
your
probably
character?
explain what I like.
What we got?
So you've probably never seen anything like Nolus before. Centipede. So many legs. There was a running joke that I was going to play a centipede in this campaign. So his skin is very much dark blue, so like a moonlight blue colour. And the only thing that you can really see is his eye colour, which is kind of a light green colour. He has elongated ears, much longer than you would have seen if you've ever seen an elf. So probably kind of like almost up to a foot in length, really long, quite thin. And he's covered in what looks like some kind of shiny scale armour that seems quite ornate, but to a point where it's obviously cut out of leather, some kind of creature's leather, so quite well adapted for swimming. And yeah, so he's a weird looking creature, really. There's some kind of like skin folds on the inside of his neck when you look closer. Yeah, that's roughly him. So he's very much laden down with gear. He's got quite a lot of stuff.
How tall are you?
He's very tall. He's probably about 6 foot tall. So he's very, very slender. Probably more slender than you see in a normal elf. Almost gaunt, really.
Do you want him on your log?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, no. Yeah.
I just want.
Which side of the river is this? The hyenas.
Yeah.
The hyenas are probably 30 feet from your position at the moment in the centre of this log. The river's 20 feet wide, you're on the midpoint. And there to your south, there's a dirt track which continues south. One of them stood kind of on that track, the others are just to the east of that track, next to this large rock which this other creature seems to be lying on, and this canvas tent.
West or east side of the river?
To the south side of the river, so the river is running east to west.
Nice. Okay. And so which side are you on?
You're on the north side.
I'm on the north.
Okay, so I'm the closest. Interesting.
And also this blue creature is you've mounted the log also.
Yeah. So sorry, I missed all of that. So I was checking my character sheet. So I'm on the close side or far side of the river tip.
You are on the same side. You've been coming from the east, in this swirling river, and you're on the rope, and you pulled yourself up onto the log.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're almost in the same position as this figure here.
Cool.
And they are all on the south side, 20 feet from the bank.
Is this a secure log, or are they log rolling?
The log is being felled, and it looks like it's acting as a bridge to get you from one side to the other.
Oh, amazing. So I have to get back in the water.
Okay.
Cool.
It as you get onto it, and you now realising where you are, that it doesn't feel stable. It's slippery.
Yeah.
It rocks a little bit. You've got to watch your footing on it.
Okay. Noless is to my south.
He's right next to you. You're both on the log, correct me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're both
So-
on the log.
I will, budge past.
Oh, jeepers.
Not too harsh. And to the bank.
Okay. So as you attempt to further cross the log, can you make the campaign's first dice roll? And can you please make an acrobatics check?
William?
Hello?
It's a strong ball.
A 4.
Yeah.
You take a step forward, and as you do so, you lose your footing. Your foot on this trunk. You're a little bit disorientated from your location, and you drop to the west side of this trunk into the piercing cold. As you hit the water, please make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. Wow.
Let's do saving throws to D20.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. It's a 11.
11. Okay, you feel intense cold as you fall into this river. Really super, super cold. It feels beyond freezing. You're breathless instantly, but you are still able to function.
Oh, good luck.
So your body,
Oh, my charisma!
everything within your essence is telling you to get out of this river is piercingly
If
cold.
only somebody had some rope.
like calling for help.
As
It's very cold in there.
as you call out, I would like all 5 of you to roll initiative.
Oh,
Roll initiative.
come on, baby.
Oh, this is a good roll. Okay, so who's Claro?
19.
Whoa!
10.
6.
I got to lose the beard.
No less.
12, baby.
11.
A lot of mid-range rolls.
Thought that was awful. Turns out not quite so bad.
It's alright. It's not so bad.
I think bad rolling's on my
Written into your character. Oh, brilliant. It's going to be entertaining for you.
Okay, so first up is going to be Claro to act.
Cool. I guess I'm in incredibly rough terrain. With my speed of 30 and your dungeon master wisdom, can I get to the south bank?
So it's certainly difficult terrain as you're trying to swim through this piercing cold. It would use all of your movement to get to the south bank and haul yourself out. And it's such a relief as you feel yourself pulling away onto the bank on the south side. So you're now
So he managed it without a rope.
20-ish feet from the nearest of the 5 hyenas. Would you like to do anything else?
It's just going to shout a profanity. It's a profanity he's never said before. He didn't even know he knew.
Oh, wow. What does it sound like?
It's almost like a grotesque, like a haka. Like he doesn't even.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a weird sound, but it shoots out of him, and he's obviously not very comfortable.
That was quite Klingon.
It was quite funny.
That sounds like the black speaking more.
After Claro, we go to hearing this exclamation, hearing the sound of you falling into this piercing cold river. A couple of the hyenas turn and face you and let out their hyena alerts. And that is how a hyena sounds.
You googled that,
I
didn't you?
did, yeah, I googled that. I actually played the sound file.
Every frequency was pretty spot on.
Thank you very much, yeah.
In fact, there's hyenas out the window.
The two of them turn towards you as they see you alerted on alert. They don't head towards you this turn, and they're staring right at you. The other, and we continue. And another one of them turns around. As it does so, you hear it growl, and it makes an attack at this tent.
Okay.
As it does so, it just crumples to the ground. It seems to lose its footing, distracted perhaps by you, and it just falls on its front paws and does nothing. I rolled a 1.
Clumsy little hyena.
Outside.
After that, please, Nolus.
Oh, well. Nolus is concerned, so is Zolan in my way?
No, you're not on the log yet. Yeah.
Oh, and you're on the other end. Cool. So I need to go away from him. Is that right?
Yeah, so you're heading. So he's to the north. You're heading south towards the
hyenas and stuff. Cool. I'm not very good with mental maps, so there might be a lot of that. He's going to turn to his little gnome buddy and say, "Thank you for saving me, bearded child. I would appreciate your help in the upcoming fight." And with that, he's gonna. How far away are the hyenas?
They are the nearest one's 30 feet from you.
30 feet.
25 feet.
25 feet. Mint.
GM.
Mint.
For now.
What
It's only the first
Yeah. What do you want? It's
Mint. So I'm going to. He's gonna unsheath a shield from his back, as well as a short sword, and he's gonna peg it over to that hyena.
Okay. So your speed is, sorry?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, so you run towards this hyena.
Yeah.
So this
I'm on a slippery log.
on a slippery log. Yes. So please make a acrobatics check.
Oh lordy! Oh, jeepers! That's a powerful 5.
Someone's going in the water.
A 5.
Curses! We have encountered our most powerful enemy. A slippery log.
Yeah. You just managed to prevent yourself from falling in to the river. Just.
But do a road one.
But you lose. It becomes difficult terrain basically. So
Okay, cool.
you take. That takes half of your speed,
Sweet.
which means that you can no longer get into combat. You kind of stumble and almost
Sweet.
just right yourself and stop yourself falling in the water.
How close
the
is the
hyena
guy?
gives you a look of, really?
So you kind of end up just the other side of the bank next to this hooded character.
Cool.
And
How close am I to the
the
nearest
nearest one
hyena?
is just over 10 feet.
Sweet, I'm gonna short burn.
Go for it. So you
Cool.
pull back your short bow.
Yeah, so he's gonna pull out short bow and he's gonna fire away. Which is that's an 18.
Ooh,
Wow. 18, and 18 is certainly going to hit.
that's a strong start.
And that is a 7 damage.
7 damage. So you fire this short bow, and just because it's the very first one, I don't normally do this, but just because it's the very first one, you can describe the death of this hyena.
Hey! So Norris actually wanted to look more graceful than that when he was coming off the log. He's slipping off the log. He realised he isn't going to make it, so actually he just sheaths his shield, sheaths his sword, pulls out his short bow, which is a little bit like gnarly wood and kind of not really a real short bow. It's kind of like foraged. Pulls out an arrow and just shoots it from the hip. And it's more luck than actually managed to aim it. It just goes straight through the skull and hyena down.
One down. So this, and that's your turn finished. From there, Malcolm. Hang on, I'm looking at the wrong person. Malcolm. Malcolm.
I thought that's a
You-
coincidence. He's got the same
Oh no! When we played the last one, I was muddled you for some reason. I'm not going to do that.
Because we look so alike.
I'm going to change my name to Malcolm.
Malcolm.
I'm Malcolm, so that's fine.
From outside your tent, you suddenly become very aware of the sounds of animals nearby you. You can most likely make them out as some kind of wild cat or wild dog or something. You can hear them outside. You can also you heard a character screaming. You heard some voices. Something is going on outside of your tent, and you're on alert. What would you like to do?
Oh, there's no hint that my tent might be like completely bulletproof or bulletproof.
It's canvas.
It's
you
canvas,
did feel the creature, whatever it might have been, on the north side of your tent scrabbling at it, and you could hear it out there sniffing.
Right, so I'm going to look through the flap of my tent.
So the flap point is to the south, your main entrance. So as you look through the flap of your tent, right in front of you, you see one of the trees that you were sheltered between, and then just next to it, to its right, or to your left as you're looking, is a hyena that's looking straight back at you as you pull it out. So
Right.
not 10 feet from you.
Okay. Okay. I'm not going to be able to get out of my tent. And
At the
get
moment,
over
you
to-
guys cannot see whoever this might be.
So we don't know if he's in his pajamas.
You do not know.
Oh, sleepy cat.
I will. How far away is this hyena?
Probably 8 feet from
I
you,
will-
and you are prone at the moment in
I'm
your
like,
tent.
yeah. So, okay, I grab my staff and scrabble out of my tent, charge towards the hyena, and hit it as hard as I can
Okay.
with the knobbly end of my staff.
So as soon as you stand up, you notice immediately to your right another hyena. So again, 8 feet from you, but you're already heading on the way to hit this one, and you're gonna give it a thunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which dice can I roll for attack?
D20.
That's 7 plus 5. That's 12.
A 12 will hit.
Awesome. Well, yeah, one-handed. 1d6. Cocked. 3 plus 3 is 6.
6.
Yeah.
So as you strike this hyena, you thunk down on the top of its skull. You hear a bony crack as you hit it right on the skull. It drops instantly, its chin hitting into the now wet, dusty earth. It goes totally still.
Am I close enough to perform my bonus action on the other hyena?
You tell me. What's the description?
It's the bonus action. I've got to, if I attack using an unarmed strike or a monk weapon, i.e. my staff. Oops. I get an unarmed strike bonus attack.
And you can't move again.
No. I don't
No.
think
So
it's
the other
anything
creature is
about
not
another move.
close enough for you to
Right.
take another strike.
Okie dokie.
Maybe he's another class.
Maybe.
With monk weapons.
The monk weapon.
Yeah, maybe.
Possible. Possible.
Thank you, Malcolm. We go next to
I like my stick.
Zolan.
Cool. We're gonna climb the log, I think. But
Yeah.
you know, like an old man is not very well balanced. I'm gonna shuffle sideways across it.
Top heavy.
Like that. Whoa! I'm gonna shuffle my way up. I've only got 25-foot speed.
Okay.
It's
So
like
more deadly than a hyena.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
so I want to try. I can't. Can I cross the log?
You can attempt to cross the
I'm
log.
going to attempt to cross the log.
Please make an acrobatics roll.
9.
9. So similarly, you find it difficult as you're sidestepping across. You're
Yeah.
taking it very easy. This is very unsteady terrain
Yeah.
for a gnome.
Wide stance.
And you
Sideways.
shuffle across. You take it super slowly.
Yeah.
So you get most of the way across the log, but not the whole way. It's probably another 5 foot next time, and that uses all your movement. What was 25 was your speed?
25
Yeah.
my speed, yeah.
And then you're now finding yourself just behind Claro, and you're finding yourself just behind Nolus, and then 30 feet from your position, you can see 3 hyena around this rock. On top of this rock is this other creature lying down.
Brilliant. I am going to attempt to throw something. I don't know how this works because I haven't actually got a attack roll. I don't know
It's a saving throw.
I was going to say, I thought that might potentially be.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what my DC save is. Because it's a dex save. I need you to make a dex save.
Okay. What is your... This might have been something good to look up before the
I
game.
can fire a light crossbow if you wish.
And I've got your sheet. Just roll. So let me make.
350 years old. I'm well travelled.
Let me make my dex saving throw. And you're throwing something at the nearest one, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
I failed. I can tell you I failed the dex saving throw.
Perfect.
Nice.
Cool.
So what happens?
I've thrown a vial of red liquid that when it ignites, it bursts alight, damaging this hyena. For alchemical fire! For 4 damage.
4 damage. So this hyena.
Then fires the 10.
I was hoping that would happen. It's a 5 minute, it will explode in a 5-foot radius as well.
A 5 radius, okay. It's just clear by itself on the path at the moment.
Cool.
So you throw this vial, which ignites as it hits this hyena. It just kind of manages to pull away as it's igniting, and it saves itself from death. But it's smoking.
There's no persistence.
It's not actually smoking. The creature.
I just point out we managed to kill our hyenas.
Come on, little.
Its front paw is it's burning currently, and it's flailing about in fear or surprise. Anything else you'd like to do, Zolan?
I'm going to actually shout to Nolus.
You might not know that, though.
I think we might have mentioned each other. Say, who's you calling a bearded man child?
Oh dear.
Very good.
That'll be it, yeah.
Okay. At this point, alarmed, one of the hyenas furthest from you guys at the moment, but closest to you, noticing you, runs towards you and opens its jaws and attempts to bite you. And it makes a 15 to hit.
My armor class is 15, so
15 will hit.
Of course it does. Yes, of course it does.
Works for us.
And you will receive. Let's double check this one.
Dead.
Yeah.
You will receive. Instantly dead. No, you receive 2 piercing damage as it bites at you.
And so much rabies.
It manages to bite your arm as you're distracted, attacking this other hyena. From there, we go.
Baby though.
We go to the creature who is lurking on top of the rock. Thorinir, you look up, and around you, you see a gnome carefully trying to shuffle across a bridge. You see a strange blue, elven-appearing creature emerging from the water and stumbling across a log. You see a hooded figure that had been standing on this log for some time fall into the water and crawl out. You see the hyenas which you are hiding from on top of this log. You see them circling, biting, being set on fire, having arrows fired at them. From what was a very still, wet evening, chaos is erupting around you.
Stop this! Stop this now! Mindless violence! Did anyone try and reason with them? They did nothing to you! And
Jeez.
what are my odds on just chatting to these?
Do you have any chatting to hyena powers?
So
You're from
I
Basra on
could
that
charm.
Yeah.
I've got animal friendships. I could charm one of them.
Could you charm the one that's currently holding onto my arm and trying to tear it off?
I could do that.
So you've got one to your left. One, basically right by your rock, which is ablaze. One to your right, which has been untouched but was trying to pour at the tent. One which is on this flailing arm. You can't see anything but a flailing arm, and with a hyena on it. That's what you see around you.
I mean, this arm kind of looks like it deserves it to me, but I would like to cast a level 1 spell.
That's the arm.
Animal friendship on this slightly mighty hyena,
The one on the arm, okay.
which takes a morsel of food, but I've got some rations. So I'll just take a crumb of.
A morsel of food. You have your necessary components. As long as it doesn't have a value, which it won't do.
No.
You can do that using your focus.
Okay. Yes, I'll shake my little U scepter.
So as you, for the first time, as this figure stands upon this rock, almost illuminated in the moonlight, almost like a spotlight upon him, would you like to describe your appearance to the rest of the group?
So you're looking at a very slender, very maybe like handsome deep down. You can see he's troubled. He's got some issues. He looks a little plagued, so to speak.
Well, literally.
So you're looking at a wood elf, bronze in colour, about 6 foot tall, very pointy ears, very very thin, but yeah, blackish sort of tones. Looks a little ill. Is sprouting young foliage, but this foliage is very much dead. He doesn't look happy.
And they're black marks on your skin rather than all black. You've got black patches.
So we'll call this maybe a skin infestation. A black scab.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And you lift your U.
So I lift my U sprig on the scepter.
Oh, sorry, your scepter.
Yeah, my little scepter. And so it says here, this beast, which is a harsh term for these loving creatures,
Not from my point of view, sunshine.
has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And it's failed that.
Wonderful. It doesn't tell me what this does.
What's the spell?
This animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
It says it's charmed for
There you go.
the duration, which
Yeah,
is
so it's
24
charmed.
hours.
Yeah, so it's charmed for 24 hours.
So I can just tell it to let go, please.
So basically,
Heal, boy.
it will react favourably to you. I'm not sure if that means it's going to stop buying in there.
You will find out.
We're going to find out. DM's discretion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to do? So your rock's maybe 5 foot high. You're kind of slightly out of the reach of these. That's why you took that shelter there.
We'll stay up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to scowl at a few people.
Oh, no, for you standing up there scowling. I'll have my arm hanging off.
As you are the first to notice, from the bushes to the southeast of where you are stood, and also from where you are, 2 small creatures about the size of a hare and similar in appearance to a hare start bounding towards your direction generally. Running fast towards you, don't take in fully what they are at this point. You see they have large antlers atop their head. They bound towards the creature. Both of them bound towards the creature that is, or the hyena, which was attacking your tent on the north side. They run towards it, straight towards it, and they charge this thing.
I like these things.
Yes.
They're like the dog from the Grinch.
Oh, Max.
Thank you for chatting to us in the chat. It's nice to have you.
Oh, hello.
Hello. We're having a chat. What are we having a chat about?
No, just that people have no idea what's going
Oh,
on.
brilliant. That's
Yeah, and they know the way, so you're not.
Yeah, it's very normal. Very
These
normal.
two creatures just run towards this hyena and knock it flying. As they hit it, it's like a battering ram hitting this hyena. It flies up in the air, the wind knocked out of it. It's hit 10, 15
Wow.
feet, goes flying across the ground.
How big are these things again?
They're small. They're maybe a
Hair size.
a maximum of half a foot or 2/3 of a foot high.
Including others.
And then the antlers on top. Yeah.
Which are 15 foot long.
It's like a forklift truck.
They both bang towards this creature and simultaneously just knock it flying into the air, and it just lies motionless on the ground.
I'm feeling
From there-
less proud of my kill now.
From there, we have the hyena, which is ablaze or has is at least smouldering. It takes off in the other direction. It's scared by seemingly this, and it just runs to the southwest, trying to bolt for safety, basically, and runs a long way away from where you're all positioned.
This could be like when a big fish eats a little fish and then an even bigger fish
Oh,
eats
yeah.
Exactly.
Then, after this, we go to Nolus.
We're still in
No,
this.
hang on, no, I've lied there. Clara.
Haha, you have to make the difficult decision.
Face the wrath of this guy. Jesus! Let me get in the middle of this.
Great. Fantastic. Cool. He doesn't really know what the hell's going on. All these people have just appeared, and so have these hyenas.
Things have began happening.
And then these
Feel yourself
weird-
lucky, I was asleep in my tent.
Yeah, indeed. He doesn't know any of these people, so he's just going to ready an attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he
what
gets
are you
his knife,
specific-
he just brings it up close to his face, and he's just ready to strike anything that comes near.
So you're just staying where you are on the riverbank,
He's pretty sharp.
and you're just waiting for something to come right next to you before you will attack it.
Yeah. Ready to any close range.
And when you ready an attack, is that then preparing for a reaction?
Yeah. You,
Oh, look at someone's read the rules.
read some rules. There are. I haven't read them all. I
there
did
are
read that one
there
earlier.
are a number of rules. Yeah, quite a lot of rules. Okay, so that's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
Now we go to Nolus.
You made me make that one. How far away am I from these dangerous antler creatures?
You are maybe 25 feet from where they are. They're just to the north side of that tent.
On the cuteness scale, where are we talking? Like 10 being like,
Bunny rabbit.
Holy Grail.
yeah, like Holy Grail bunny rabbit, and 0 being like Muck from Pokemon. Like, well, what? Where are we?
Whilst they appear very much like a hare, I mean, there's the vision is tricky here. Although you've got your dark vision, the vision is tricky here.
Ooh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. It is late. It is nighttime, but it's pretty well lit from the moonlight. It's
I
not.
reiterate, I was asleep in my tent.
It's like straight after Strictly.
The rains are pouring down. It's dark. You've just seen these things emerge from nowhere momentarily and obliterate a hyena. They're not cute,
Cool.
as you see them at the moment.
What are they doing now to the hyena? Are they consuming said hyena?
No,
or
they
are
are. They've just been running. They've just hit it,
That's
and
cool.
now it's your reaction, as it were.
Cool. Nolus is going to sheath his makeshift bow. He's going to pull out his shield and his short sword. He's going to move over to them pretty cautiously, shield up, to about probably within 5 feet of them.
Yeah.
And he's literally going to talk to them and say, state your intention, tiny woodland creature, or I'll be forced to kill you.
in common. Common tongue.
In Sean Connery, by himself.
It's a very complicated accent.
I like the voice.
I can only blame myself. That's Sean Connery. So yeah, what are you gonna do now? Because I don't really want to kill the thing, unless it's gonna kill me, which probably is. So
Not entirely sure. You could. They seem
Okay.
fairly ferocious.
don't you worry. We'll figure this one right out. Bear with me.
Could fuck you if you.
Oh Jesus! Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, it was probably the same size as
So
me.
I'm going to take the
Like the rabbit in
opportunity to cast light on my shield.
Oh, he's got a sword and he's got magic.
Someone uses badass mode.
Which cause a bright light in a 20-foot radius and a dim light for additional 20 feet. It can be coloured as you like. I will colour it blue. Why not? It'll be aqua blue. We'll go for a blue thing.
So blue light. This blue light. You comparing sheets? What are you doing?
He's got a
Classic.
Oh, sweet.
D4 -1 damage. You can heal the creature.
The blue light just fills this space around Nolus. Nolus is it? Sorry, I've been
It can be either. Nolus. It's not pronounced in common anyway, so it can be whatever.
Go ahead. And this is quite surprising to some of you, as magic is not commonplace. It's extremely surprising. Concerning.
But yeah, so that's me. I cast light.
Okay.
So all it does is allow everyone else to see these things, I guess.
Yeah, and that was a cantrip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We go to Malcolm. You
Okay.
have a creature biting your arm.
I thought he'd let go because he got. No?
Was that the one that got charmed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hasn't had a turn yet, so hasn't done anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Grapple.
Ooh.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Okay. With my free hand, I am going to. What the hell am I going to do?
Let's take him on the nose. Scooby-Doo style.
It will become uncharmed if you hurt it. But I understand that it's on your palm.
You also don't know that it's charmed.
No, I'm not aware of this. No. Okay. Yeah, so
charmed.
I'm sorry, charmed or not, I'm going to whack it with my stick. So, yes, with my free hand, I'm bringing forth my my staff and I'm smacking it on the top of the head as hard as I can.
Okay.
Finger of the wrath. How about that? Fingers and fingers.
That is 15,
15 will hit.
A general roll is the way the kids.
and that is 4 bludgeoning damage.
4 bludgeoning damage.
Right on the top of his head.
Sure.
It's
So
going
you,
to ruin its day, hopefully.
yeah, you strike this creature and it instantly drops off your arm, seemingly shocked, and yeah, it's not dead there. It's
I've got a follow-up attack,
yeah.
bonus action, unarmed strike.
So you take another strike with your offhand,
Yeah, the one that's currently bleeding.
which is a
now, I'm not
bonus
sure
action,
how
I
I
believe.
do.
Is that correct?
Huh?
Is it a bonus action?
It's a bonus action, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure how I carry that, how I do an unarmed attack.
So it's on. You've got it on your sheet. I believe you've got it there.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. D4 is the usual roll for damage for unarmed strikes. I use my dexterity. So right. Okay. So that is 19. That's 22 to hit.
It will hit.
And D4 is it? D4, and that's 6.
You've done damage.
Oh, that's D6. Sorry, my bad.
Nice.
That's a 4.
As good as it can be.
Once again, you strategically land the blow just to the bottom of its jaw, and you feel it hurts a fair bit. Actually, it was a good whack. And
I'm
you
already severely angry.
punch this hyena in the face to death,
Right, so whack, punch.
knocked out cold.
And it is
confident
down,
it is
and
down.
that is not getting back up. And what the hell is going on here?
As
Can I be doing a slow motion?
It's at this point, as I'm the only character who hasn't sort of introduced their description.
Yeah.
It's at this point you notice that I'm completely naked, except for a very small loincloth, having been asleep in my tent. I'm an average height human.
Oh.
A slim build, but quite muscular. Obviously had a fighting life. Fair amount of scars on my almost naked body. Straggly hair, straggly beard, and right at this moment, bleeding profusely and very, very angry.
thank you very much.
Obviously human.
Oh well, yeah. No, obviously human. You can
See a lot of them.
you can see pretty much all of me at this precise moment.
No point.
No pointed ears, and I'm taller than at least him.
Zolan.
Zolan,
You're still on the log, just nearly at the other end, and you have 30 feet from you. You've seen this hyena flying through the air. You've seen these small creatures with antlers rushing towards the tent.
still an initiative? And there are still hyenas around.
The only hyena is quite some distance to your south, scarpering, apparently, because you nearly exploded it.
Well, I have to finish this motherfucker off. I think I can get to.
What are the swear words on this?
No, it's a no holds barred.
I think actually.
Use all the F's and S's you want.
But there may be mothers watching, so be careful.
How far are we talking? 60 or more?
We are talking, what?
The hyena that's
The hyena
running
that's
off.
running away, yeah, it's about probably 70 feet.
So,
wow.
So I'm gonna shoot with the light crossbow, but I'll get disadvantage. So I think I can shoot up to 120. I think with disadvantage. and
Okay,
60.
yeah.
Aiming for a little spot
Yeah,
between the
so I'm
back
gonna
legs.
loose and I'm gonna pull out my light
What's
crossbow.
you have dark vision?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
60
okay.
feet actually. So do I? 60 feet of dark vision.
It's pretty dark, but probably I would think you're not going to
do
be
you
able
think
to
I
see it
wouldn't?
from
Sorry,
where you
I
are
wouldn't.
right
I
now.
wouldn't.
Even with your light, because your light isn't 70 feet, is it?
No, it's 20 feet of
Yeah.
bright light, 20 feet of dim light.
You've got so much more on your sheet.
Because I'm a badass. I'm Zolan, the 3'6", green-eyed, 350-year-old gnome.
Right.
Oh, you're looking at my sheet. It's because it's
I'll
just. We'll talk about that.
Sorry, let it come down.
Apologies. I don't want to attack these hare. They look like guardians of the forest or something
Plus,
like
to
that.
you, they're huge.
What the? How close are these hares? These antlered rabbits.
30, 35 feet from you.
Antlered rabbits. There's an image I'm never going to get out of.
I'm gonna. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna ready my hand axe.
Oh.
For
I can also throw this hand axe up to 60. Disadvantage as well. I'm very strong.
so you're readying to throw.
I'm gonna ready.
And what's your trigger?
To be honest, if he comes within like 20 feet of me,
Okay.
running, just like when he come into shot and obliterate the hyena, if that starts happening this way, between the eyes.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Right. So you've readied your action. You're readied as well at the moment. And you're still kind of precariously balancing on the log. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can sit on a log.
Okay. From there, we go to Thorinir. So right beneath you, you've got just 5 or so feet to your east. You have this glowing shield from this blue creature, which lights you up blue as well. And then these creatures and these flying hyenas and these antlered hare-like creatures bounding full speed.
So give me some numbers.
You see 2 of those.
The hyenas, he's gone.
There's not really any hyenas around at the moment.
He's a twinkle, it's like Team Rocket.
There's a lot of Pokemon references. I'm enjoying it. Don't sue us, Nintendo.
Sponsor us, Nintendo.
Yeah. Give us free stuff!
Gonna jump off my rock.
Okay, yeah.
Gracefully.
Yeah, easy enough.
Screaming.
Yeah. Oh man, what's he going to do? So what he's going to do? So where are these antlery?
They're 10 feet to your east. Kind of. There's a tent and this other creature nearby you.
So
This
are they aiming at anyone?
they're still fully bounding. It just so happened that where their action ended was when they reacted, when they sent this hyena flying.
Are they bound?
Looks like they're still moving.
Are they heading towards any of the party?
Hard to tell what their next intention is, but they're heading directly towards this blue glowing man.
Okay. And he looks fairly well shielded. Ooh, so many things to read. So many things to.
It was a preparation. I think.
Yeah.
While he's reading, I was just. Oh wait,
No,
sorry.
you go.
I was just going to make a point that I forgot a formula, so I'm going to add a healing draft. It just now in combat. I'll put that.
Very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Very
Yeah.
suspicious.
I've got a formula.
So, I'm going to perform Druid Craft,
Okay.
which is a cantrip. And I'm just going to create a harmless sensory effect.
Oh, wonderful.
I
Okay.
do like a harmless sensory
And
effect.
what is this effect?
So, I'm basically just going to kind of make a mirage around people in the camp. Camp, because there's a tent.
Yeah.
Kind of shielding these antlered beasts from sight of any of us.
Oh.
Because it doesn't really specify.
Yeah.
I mean, it says
DM's
the
discretion.
range is 30 feet.
Range 30 feet, and it doesn't say what size this
No,
is.
it just says,
Sensory effect can be.
create a harmless sensory effect.
Okay. And just give me the name of the spell, just so I can go.
Druid
So
Craft.
it's Druidcraft. It's a transmutation cantrip.
Okay. And you'd like it to appear. How would you like it to appear?
I'm struggling to picture where everyone is, but maybe like a kind of whimsical air waterfall, so it just kind of blurs the air.
Like humidity.
Yeah.
Okay. So Druidcraft.
Oh, we've got the book out.
I've got the book.
We've got the book out.
Druidcraft, whispering to the spirits of nature. You create one of the following effects within range. So it's I think it's one of 4 things that you can do. So you can you can create a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts a tiny harmless sensory effect. That predicts.
Whoa.
80 foot.
Right, it says here.
Oh, there's another one.
It says create a harmless sensory effect. Oh yeah, no, that's a different one. Yeah.
So that you can do 4 things.
That predicts the weather. That.
Yeah, you can do a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts
If
what
you
the
want
weather will be
forecast, I am your-
at your location for the next 24 hours.
It's raining.
You can make a flower
If
blossom,
rock
a seed
is
pod
wet,
open,
it's
or a leaf
raining.
bud bloom.
Yeah.
You can create an instantaneous,
Quite a useless
harmless
cantrip.
sensory effect, such as falling leaves, a puff of wind, the sound of a small animal, or the faint odour of a skunk. The effect must fit in a 5-foot cube,
Ooh, okay.
or you can instantly snuff out some kind of fire.
Okay, so my little thing doesn't cover all that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create the sound of like a mating call of these little
Oh,
things.
clever.
And can you give me your impression of what that mating call sounds
Oh god, I'm choking on a river.
Can you
No, that wasn't it.
can you make a couple of things from here? Can you make a nature check to see whether you've ever encountered this creature before?
Okay. Sounds climb. Damn it. I'm going to have to do it again, aren't I?
No. I believe in you. Who's good the first time?
It's 18, is it?
12.
Oh, sorry.
12. So you're having a guess at what it sounds like. And can you now make a performance roll with advantage for the excellent performance to see whether or not they fall for it?
Okay. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
13.
With
You've got
advantage.
advantage. You can roll again.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so fine. Thank you very much. You don't know what's happened, but you do now because it's their turn. One of them seems to hesitate for a moment and look towards the sound and walk towards you, and it walks right past you. If you want to take a reaction, you can take a reaction.
No, I'll pass. I'll hold tight.
You're going to hold your reaction, okay? And it looks at you, and it's just sat there, still. As you look closely at it, you can see it's brown fur. It does look like a hare would, but it's got these big, broad antlers. You can see its eyes are wild, but it's staring at you, just moving. You can see it's breathing heavily, and its body just gently rocking.
Back legs thumping on the ground rapidly.
The other one runs straight towards you as well. Again, you have the opportunity to take a reaction. This one's moving faster than the previous one.
Does it look like it's charging?
Yes.
In which case, yeah, I'll take a reaction.
Okay.
I'm gonna stab the little guy.
Okay. So this other one does not slow down, and you are going to stab it.
While he's doing it, it's just going to be like, nature favors the strong. Oh no!
That's not very strong, though, is it?
It's only a 7.
Nature
It's far too quick for you. It doesn't move like any creature you've ever seen before.
Cool.
And it runs full speed, or it's gaining speed towards you. It seems to have slowed down as it hit the hyena previously, but it's trying to re-accelerate, and it charges towards you, Thorinir. And it is 11 to hit.
Woohoo!
So I got 13.
It does not hit. So you manage to sidestep out of its way at the last moment, and as it runs towards you, it just stops itself from hitting the rock behind you. Its antlers lowered, charging at you.
That is the last time I trust a woodland creature.
And as it turns, as it goes past you, it attempts to move away from you. You can take a reaction if you want to.
And what can I do here? I can bring out my short bow.
So the reaction has to be with it while it's moving out of your sphere of melee. So out of your 5 foot radius.
I never trusted anyone.
Trip it.
That's amazing.
You can attempt to trip it.
I don't know what that roll is. They've got to be pretty nose heavy, haven't they? So
That's
Okay,
great.
I'm imagining kind of stuck in the dirt.
His little legs still.
Can you
antlers sticking their legs up in the air. I mean, yeah.
Can you just make
If
a
anyone's
standard?
watching the stream, I know that's
dexterity.
what I'm going to get.
Let's make a dexterity contest. So if you roll with your dexterity,
Good call, DM. Well done.
20.
okay.
20.
You
Jesus.
put your foot out, and even though it's smaller than you, as it jumps, you almost kind of kick it up into the air a little, not enough to hurt it, but you trip it over, it loses its footing, and kind of for a moment it falls prone, and it's still
Nice.
kind of almost still trying to run like a dog does when it's sleeping, it's having a dream,
Aw.
and it's just on its side for a moment. You successfully trip this creature.
It's a good move.
Well
That was
played.
good. I did think you were just going to punt it.
Claro,
Field goal.
you are 25 feet away from the tripping incident.
Okay, cool. So they both run past Norris.
Nollis.
Cool, and they're both basically within 5 foot of Thorinir.
Yeah.
Cool. I think, kind of a bit desperate. He's going to get into combat with these guys. So I've got 30 feet speed, so I can move straight up into combat to the one that's just been tripped. And I'm going to stab it with me dagger.
Okay.
Stab
So
it
you're
with my
running
dagger.
You've just returned from whatever state you were in on that log, and all hell is breaking loose around you, and now you're running towards this rabbit-like creature.
He's feared. There's a look on his
Stab it.
face, just like, I don't know what the hell's going on. He's just got stabbed.
You're in light, So you can see clearly it's prone. It's prone. So you've got advantage.
Ah, lovely.
It's just been tripped over.
Cool. 18 plus 4. 32.
That will hit.
Nice.
One of them, and it's a brutal amount of damage with a 3 plus 2 is 5 damage.
5 damage. So yes, you strike it as it's lying there on the ground.
Bravely hitting it while it's lying down.
Yeah.
Hot blood spraying over its face.
Yeah. And it just starts to bleed from its side. It tries to dodge you, but you manage to kind of skewer it down its side almost, ripping out away some of its fur and into its flesh. It's at a little high-pitched squeal, which is higher than that. I can't do higher. And that's your turn.
That is my turn. I guess I've got. I've probably got 5 speed left.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
So, although I'd have to get out, I can't get out of combat with it, so I'll just remain in combat with it.
Fine. We go to Nolus.
Nolus. How far
That
away
training's
from
gonna be
various little dudes?
You are 6 or 7 feet away from the one that's sat kind of underneath Thorinir.
Cool.
I'm just kind of looking at him. The one that's been tripped over is again probably 7 feet from
Cool.
you.
Do I have to pass any of them to get to
No,
other?
cool. One's in front of you, one's to the side of you.
He's going to see.
Just between
My
by
man.
the rock. Between the
Yeah.
rock and the tent, that's kind of where you are.
Cool. He's going to see my man running over and stabbing one. So he's going to go over to that one and just say he's going to go in to stab it straight away.
Okay.
Like, Celeste, take you hideous land creature. And that is, it's a 10.
A 10. As you... Was that with advantage?
Oh, it's not with advantage, no?
Because that's prone.
Ooh. Oh, wonderful. 17.
17 will hit.
Do him. Oh, wow. That's 9 damage.
9. You coup de grace the creature, you cut its neck off. Clean. Just one instantly. Sever
Just
its head.
2 slices, take the neck.
Yeah.
Those antlers are going up on your wall.
Skinned in one hit.
And blood just starts rushing onto the dusty ground, rain's kind of rushing. It's blending with the water and the dirt.
It looks quite artistic. No,
It's been a
slow
dramatic
motion-y.
half a minute for everybody. This isn't your usual day-to-day mostly. We go, if you finished,
Yeah.
to Malcolm. You are still where you were in front of your tent. You look behind you, you now see 3 of these other creatures, this blue elfish creature, this small, this humanoid with the dark hood, and then this wood elf appearing next to this charging hare creature.
How far away am I from the other hair thingy?
You are about 10 feet. If
Moving away from me or towards me or...
it's moving. You're not in its eye line in any way. I'd like you to make a nature roll before you do anything else.
Nature, have I got anything? +2.
A nature risk roll.
5.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Carry on.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Slightly nervous.
Just ignore the massive walking tree.
Okay. Well, it's served me quite well for the last couple of minutes. I will run up behind the small antlered woodland creature and lamp it one with the knobbly end of my stick.
Okay. You come from behind it. You are
Yeah.
flanking it. So
You can go for the field goal.
yeah.
Yes. Instead of trying to slam it down between its antlers, I'm going to go. I'm going to hold on to the not so stumpy, solid end of my staff and swing it like a golf club.
What's the Adam Sandler golf film?
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Yeah.
goal.
First Happy Gilmore reference of the season.
Yeah. When I
Hopefully
walk.
the last Adam Sandler.
First and last Adam Sandler reference of the season.
So
Please.
we're going to go and see how far we can wallop this thing. That is a 15 plus 5.
That will hit.
That'll do it.
And 1d6 plus 3 bludgeoning. That is 7 damage.
Whoa.
So as you
I
come
think
up
is the word you're looking for.
behind this creature, I will allow you to describe its death.
Well, we're not going to find out how it died because it's about 30 foot away. It's accelerating. It's gone way beyond the camp.
It lands in the water trap, just above. It's a golfing term.
Oh, right, okay.
I was going to say, there's a
This
water
is
trap.
water trap.
We love sports.
Yeah.
So we didn't knew that.
For humorous effect, one antler is left spinning gently on its end and then falls over.
Very good. And with that, I will tell you that quite amazingly, you managed to survive your first.
Are we level 2?
Well, I think that's quite impressive because the previous efforts we've had, we nearly managed to kill everybody in the very first combat.
Yeah,
So
that's normally
well
that's
done.
normally good
Those
for
were
us.
good rolls.
Yeah, we did all right.
Stu, particularly. Maybe.
I like my big stick. I really like my big stick.
you
Well done on your character creation, guys. Very funny.
you each gain 30 experience for surviving the encounter.
How much experience do I
Big
need?
money.
300?
And how much gold did they drop?
They don't appear to have immediately dropped any gold.
How much is an antler worth?
Um,
I'm going to keep it.
So here you find yourself on this
I'm gonna tie
once
it.
sun-baked plain with this dirt track having now crossed over this log river. Each of you are surrounded by faces that are unfamiliar to you, potentially races that are unfamiliar to you, most of you having not seen anybody for a period of time now. This has been a most unusual minute of your journey.
I won't lie, I was going to say, Zolan's thinking, I didn't sign up for this, and I'm going to start shimmying back across the other side of the log. I'm just going to start moving back.
I wouldn't go on that log if I was you. It's pretty cold in that water.
I'm going to pretend I don't hear him.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep wobbling
Give me
over.
another acrobatics roll.
I don't think the little bearded man is.
Oh, so there's a 1.
Didn't die until that.
This is you tripping over the end of the log and then falling in.
It's not a 7, no, because there's the 7.
Can you-
It's a 1.
Can you make a Christmas saving
Can
throw?
you describe it again, please?
Face down in the river, in the freezing river.
I'm not,
Dark.
Nice though. Nice weight.
He's the one with the rope as well.
I've got some rope. Unfortunately, it's in my
I'm
tent
going to make this Christmas saving throw. Can't
with
get
all my
too lost.
clothes.
Not again. 16 flat.
Minus 16.
Once again, so you fall awkwardly off of the slippery log, still under this heavy rainfall, into this icy river, and the pain and the seething surge of this pain is just hits every orifice of your body and every nook and cranny, every part in the back of your mind.
It's the butthole.
With every ounce of feeling in your body, you feel your nerves standing on end, and you feel this seething agony of cold as you land in this river. You are able to move.
Brilliant. I'm terribly ashamed of myself. But I wanted to leave, but now I have to ask for help.
I like the fact that we're all just stood. You just hear this.
Where did the little one go?
I'm going to ask for help as I swim.
Okay, so just swim.
Larry will run to the riverside, I think, but there's not a whole lot you can do. So he's just like, you fall!
I couldn't hear you, I'm old.
You're able
I
to.
think I've got some armbands in my.
It's a fairly panicky swim out as you doggy paddle with this soggy, wet beard as you get to the shoreline. But you manage to pull yourself out. The group looking back at you. You're now exceptionally cold here in the rain.
Larry throws a blanket and But like just entirely.
Unfortunately, the blanket is
blanket. So.
unfortunately the blanket is so heavy it knocks him back into the river.
It is
Thank you,
very,
good sir.
it's very cold in there.
Fucking freezing!
I wouldn't recommend it again. It is not good swimming water.
I lost my friend.
So who the hell are all you people?
More specifically, where are we?
I actually have no idea where I am. Does anyone actually know where they
I
are?
know where.
Interesting. Is it common in these places for people not to know where they are? Is this
Are we
unusual?
all disorientated? Can none of us recollect?
I've spent 7 days in the back of a weasel cart. 7 fucking days!
Is that cart pulled by weasels? I can't.
Giant weasels.
Yeah. What is a
Dead.
weasel?
Rodents.
Well, I'm going
Dead
back to my
rodents.
tent, stomping back to my tent, where I'm going to tear off a bit of my tent that has been ravaged by the hyena and wrap it round my wounded arm.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go into my tent and I'm going to get dressed.
Okay.
We can see into your
disappears
tent
into
because
his tent.
she's missing a hole.
Well, you're watching me bend over and good luck with that.
I'm just visiting each of the dead within range. Just giving them a little blessing with my scepter. Little stroke on the head.
One of them didn't have a head.
Yeah, paying zero attention to these warmongers.
Is this to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the fact that you people showed that you are strong. That's good. I think we will survive better together, no?
What are you?
That is a very long story. And I could ask you very much the same question.
Rocky 3 or Rocky 4?
Do I recognise? Nollis.
Nollis.
Nollis. Do I recognise Nollis? Have I seen not recognise him, but have I seen any creatures? Have I come across this race at all?
If you make a nature check.
Six plus nature, 3 to 9. No?
You don't know what he is.
No worries, that's fine. That's fine.
My people aren't from the mainland.
Why were you in the water?
Well, to cut a long story short, I was led here by my god. And I ran.
And he threw you in the river?
No, I climbed into the river.
Deliberately?
Yeah.
You're
This is
talking
the voice-
through the tent.
Yeah, the muffled voice is slightly muffled because I'm shouting over my
Nice
shoulder.
buns, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
I jumped in the river to move faster.
Fair enough.
You're an
I
elf?
just didn't realize how cold.
Your ears. You're an elf.
Some time ago, maybe, yeah.
It gives you a scowl.
We, my people are a, perhaps what you people would call a type of elf. Long ago, maybe, not so much now.
He turns away towards the gnome form.
The gnome's just reading through his scroll at the moment.
What is this? Can I have a look at this? You have one, no?
I'm afraid not, good sir. For this is precious to me.
Who gave you this?
A man called Weasel.
I also have.
Yeah, at this point, I stick my head out through the hole in the tent and say, funnily enough, I got one of them as well.
Is it? Do you mind if I have a look at your scroll?
Don't trust him. He whispers. Don't trust him.
And I whisper back to him, I don't trust any of you fuckers.
Nice. Cool.
Please,
Just shout out. Who are thee that cherish paper over life? Explain yourselves! For the hyena did naught to you. To begin with.
Did
Did you not try and speak to the animals before beheading them?
Are you also an elf?
I am a wood elf. Are there any other elves?
Engage scout.
I'm just back to stroking again.
Big stroke again. Can I take a look at somebody's skull?
Are we allowed to do that? Are you allowed to see them?
Actually.
Will somebody?
Still getting dressed.
Just want to.
I think Clara will
Can
also tend the dead.
So you can join in with the song.
there is no?
No, he's considering.
Oh no, there's a song.
No, he's picking up the bunny things, or at least what's left of the first one, and is considering burying it.
Whoa. We feast tonight.
This was your friend.
Well, why bury
Ah.
when you can eat?
Why? Yeah, if it was alive, maybe. But
You look cold.
Ah, don't touch me.
You-
Don't touch me. Jesus.
You need a.
What's wrong with you? I'm sort of shuffle over. Look at this. Oh, scalp me out.
You need
Why?
sleeves. You need furry sleeves, my small friend.
Furry sleeves. I will.
I will prepare you furry sleeves, murderer.
I will. I murdered no animals.
Excellent.
But I wouldn't mind sitting around the fire.
I'm going to just commence to skin and
Okay, so I've come out
meat the animals.
of my tent, fully dressed at last, feeling much more comfortable, and feeling generous in spirit. I'm start to gather some firewood and make a fire.
can one of
Poor damp companions here.
can one of you maybe read the scroll aloud? No.
I have a suspicion that instructions, directions, and I do believe I can't say your accent.
Your accent keeps
It does. I told you this would happen.
This is
I
a prank soul.
can't.
He's very old and he's come from lots of.
I don't want to go Scottish.
You look like Fred did, and I'm going for Fred did.
Oh dear.
Look up later.
It's going to change.
He's the most northern man.
It's going to be weeks until it gets. I'll
Yeah,
practice it at home.
normalizes it.
Yeah, until it. Yeah. So I slipped into your accent a little bit when you started talking. I ended up. I could feel myself going trying to
Very
imitate
Texas.
you. I was like, oh, no.
It's still raining.
Yes.
Good.
It's heavy rain.
Yeah, loud.
I quite like it actually.
As do I.
I don't. I'm making a fire. I hate being wet.
So there are instructions on this paper, no?
I do believe. I'll work on this the next time. I think
This is why I'm not doing an accent.
Which is to emerge through the human gate and depart the twilight. I'll read that bit, but it doesn't matter because I've done that. Says, immediately pursue the humble path where you will find virtue. Defy the biting cold. Celeste's gift. Sasu's sunder. This is cling to the dirt further south. Avoid man's mass trespass. I do believe that we are here to defying the biting cold, which a couple
That is
of you
the
have.
river there, yeah. Can you show me this
we did
word,
not.
Celeste?
Yeah, I will show you. Yeah,
I know this. I know
I'm
this.
trying to.
This is the.
If somebody could show me a scroll,
Larry
I wanted to confirm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's. I've also got a scroll, and in his small sack, he opens it. He takes undoes it at the top. There are many scrolls and many pieces of paper in it. Which he pours out on the floor, scrounging around, and finds the scroll based on the seal that's on it, and then passes it over.
Oh, fantastic.
Putting his scroll, the rest of his writing back into his.
Your paper is such poor quality and brown and burnt.
Travelled many miles.
How do you produce your paper?
You cannot hear the hell.
Are they the same? I don't have one. I'm just curious.
Where did you get this?
It
I'll
was,
copy to before I get it into my head.
it was given to me.
Bye.
It was given to me by an elf.
Like a him elf or like a me elf?
I did not give anyone this poor quality paper.
So not him.
I did not want to come. I had no choice.
Very mysterious. I like a mysterious man.
You are blue.
Mm.
How am I mysterious?
Meanwhile, I've got the fire going.
That's good.
I'm going to go up and find a spot by the fire. With, still got your robe that you gave me. The dragon is getting.
Are we under
rather
something?
dirty
Because
on
presumably
mine.
the rain had put the fire out, right?
What do I need to do an
I had lots of practice lighting fires in the
Oh, brilliant.
I'm building a spit right now.
Cool.
Oh,
I'll go and sit by the fire as well, why not?
Yeah.
So these scrolls, they're the same, huh? These all say...
You say you got yours off an elf?
It was given
Off an
to
elf.
me.
Where did you get yours from?
A human.
So,
Good luck.
I don't do.
Where did you get yours?
I got mine off a dwarf. Did I get mine off the dwarf? I got mine off a dwarf. Little bloke, not as little as him.
Do people normally give out pieces of paper? Is this a common thing?
I believe it is an invitation to Queerlet.
Weirdlet. I think I know this word. Or at least I think I know this word.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
I have your sleeve, small old man.
He's touching me again!
Ah,
Blessed be the war.
raw
Thank
untreated
you, animals.
rabbit fur.
Just unplagued by dark plaguers.
I've done a rush job of a curing of this.
Still.
I've just sealed it
Still
with the
bloody
fire.
inside.
Sealed with the fire. So you've just got kind of cooked meat on
Oh.
the inside. But it will do for now, small child bearded man.
Little bearded man. I want to make a point by removing this and just rolling my sleeve down. I thank you. But I would just roll my sleeve down.
So,
The gesture's appreciated.
we're all apparently headed in the same direction then.
Wherever you'll come from.
I don't think you need to know that at the moment, do you? Is that important?
I wasn't talking to you, so.
I come from an island off the
Lithuania.
no. Come from an island off the east coast.
Sounds Lithuanian, doesn't it?
I've never seen the sea.
You've never seen the sea?
West Coast.
Off the west coast. I forget, I'm not a very clever man.
Is that highness inspiration?
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
With my intelligence score, no. I'm surprised he knows what east and west mean. I'm from far away.
And you, small bearded man?
Where are you from?
I come from the city.
Oh,
From the where is that?
The city.
The
City?
city. What is this?
we've heard of the city?
The only city I know.
Oh,
And what is its name?
it's like Washington.
Do you know?
It's fabulous!
What's its name?
We are still learning.
Equa.
Equa. This is a nice name.
Have I heard of Equa?
Why did you leave?
You can make a history check.
Big roll.
No, I guess.
It's an 8.
An 8. Yes, you've heard of it. That's all.
Oh, lovely. Just, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that,
And the cities here are mostly elves.
Yes.
You are not an elf, no?
I'm part elf, half elf.
Okay.
I've had most of my life people tell me that I'm not an elf or not a human.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Cool.
A were-elf.
I was just thinking, okay.
Where elf? Their elf.
So why did you
What is
leave the
snow
city?
moon currently?
Oh.
It's pretty bright.
Isn't it? Full?
Not quite.
Why did you leave?
I don't know you. I don't know you, human.
People don't like talking very much around here, do they? Everyone sits in silence.
Yeah.
I find this weak. I find you weak people. But I hope that we will be
just punched
strong.
a hyena to death.
Well, there's much to
A
strength.
harmless hyena.
Yeah, you see?
Punched to death.
Yeah.
The harmless hyena was tearing chunks out of my arm. The one that punched it to
I
death.
think hyenas are very good judges of character.
A dead human and alive.
He says as he carves this.
Anybody want a slice of hyena?
I think we'll be stronger together. We should go to this place. We should find out where this letter takes us.
I've made it this far.
The rest of us should go to this
you
place.
made it
together.
this far and then fell off a log.
Worse things have happened.
Well, we do seem to all be heading in the same direction. Safety in numbers.
Clearly the road is dangerous. There are hyenas.
And vicious horned rabbits.
I don't know if I should speak about it.
I still think they might have been bros, but we might come across them.
Bros.
Bros. Oh yeah, that was outside of character, apologies.
How can I trust you?
Would you rather have a little hair? The bro sleeve.
No, thank you! Jesus.
And that's
I'm
uncured.
gonna... brilliant!
There is a relationship developing.
How can you trust me? Well, you'll just have to take my word for it. How can I trust you?
I only trust myself.
Well, then we'll just have to carry on like that for a while then, won't we?
Well, let's think about it. The strong will live, the weak will die, and we'll all be better for it.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
We'll find out. Do you want your wound looking after? There.
Can you do that?
I have a sleeve.
No, it's fine. Thank you. I have sleeves.
The sleeve of the hyena would combat the hyena bite.
Is that how it works?
This is what my people believe.
Do you know anything of medicine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Quite a lot. Maybe. I've never worked on a U, but I'm sure the premise is the same.
If you think you can do something with it, it does hurt quite a bit.
Thorinir's skin, have I ever seen anything that looks like that before?
His skin.
The black splotch.
Oh, right, okay. You can make a, let's say, a medicine roll.
I'd rather you touch me than him.
6 plus 3, 9.
I wouldn't have said so.
I'm going to take a look at this wound, Malkin's wound. I don't actually have much to kind of... I'm going to have to put something together, I guess, as far as like cloth and stuff, because I don't actually have a healer's kit or anything, but it's mainly just like bandaging it, dressing the wound, that kind of thing. Is that right?
Fair enough.
Affectionate show of chivalry. Oh, Lord.
My arm with
is
falls off.
it's only 7.
7, you wrap some bandages around the arm. Not particularly impressive, but seems to stem any bleeding that's coming from it.
I would have taken the hyena leg sleeve.
I'll take that under advisement. Maybe if it doesn't get better by itself.
Well, I could use magic, but you don't seem that injured, so I'd rather wait until you're near death.
I think I can manage.
Good. If it gets infected, then maybe... Well, it depends. Right?
You know magic?
I'm given magic, yeah.
You know it's illegal in this land to cast magic?
What is illegal?
Yeah.
There's-
You're going to get on just fine.
They come take you, right? Is that it?
Yeah, imprisoned. Sometimes death, mostly death for magic.
Okay. They will have to take me first, and
If we meet more people, don't use magic.
all kinds of magic.
No,
Everything?
everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
If you worship magic, they take you.
indeed.
They take you.
But if you are magic,
They still take you. Now, I've seen many people die in the city from magic hangings, and I mean, this is a commonplace. Do not cast magic if you know of it.
Thank you for that. That's good information. I didn't know.
It may be different out here,
Mm.
not in the city.
So walking around with the big glowing shields, is that idea?
Indeed.
The shield slowly fades. And
Everything dims.
I wouldn't recommend it in amongst large groups of people.
Really?
Probably not a good idea to be overt about it.
Okay.
So, Gnome, where do you think we need to go?
I can't work me out. I got work on this for next time.
Not too sure. I'll tell you where we're going.
To defy the biting coals, I believe we've crossed the line. We've defied it. Well, a couple did not defy the biting coal, but we passed the trial, I think. So we need to cling to
you
the
know of
dirt.
Celeste?
Cling
Celeste's
to the
gift.
dirt.
Celeste is the one I worship.
Perhaps you're Celeste's gift.
Oh, maybe.
I find it very flattering.
And who's Sasu? Sasu.
I don't know this word.
Sasu Sunder.
You could also be that.
Yeah. Perhaps you're not
sounds like a
Celeste's gift.
seasoning, and we're Jewish seasoning. This is
We need a bit of
more hyena meat. right?
Sasu Sunder.
Has anyone got some Sasus?
Sasu.
Handful of Sasus.
What have I got? I've got lots of stuff.
Cling to the dirt further south. Avoid man's mass trespass.
Sounds like a city.
Yeah, I don't like
Stay
this.
away from the towns.
We've already headed south from a log to a tent, so this direction.
Well, that's the way I was heading.
You know your way to Weirdwood?
Vaguely.
You've been there before?
No. But I've heard of it.
I'm not used to hearing men's voices not piercing and saying horrible things to a half elf.
You're part of the choir.
Well, I can say horrible things to you if you like.
I will accept your voice as is.
I'm quite happy.
I'm
to say
learning a
horrible
lot
things.
about this place.
So you are setting off and heading in which direction?
South.
Okay.
We're following the human.
And you were all heading on as one?
I'm going to bundle up what's left of my tent before we go and sort out my.
With Doritos in your beard.
Oh, that was in character.
That's actually dried hyena.
So you're packing away your
Thank you very much
your
for
tent,
cooking.
which you can add to your
Yeah.
inventory.
Very nice.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where?
We're following
Tell
this.
us. Hang on, I'm going to just bungle this hyena in my back.
Do you want me to carry some?
It's fine, it's all in there.
That's cute.
And a couple of spare sleeves. Should anyone get cold?
Yeah.
You don't have a note?
I don't have a note. I don't understand what this crap paper is about.
What are you doing just here?
Why are you here then? How did...
Whoa, my city, my forest city is plagued. I'm going to fight the plague.
For somebody who is so concerned about the livelihood and well-being of animals, you look like you were having a bit of trouble with the hyenas.
I was resting until they left. I was about to engage when you guys senselessly used violence before asking them what they wanted in life. So, I mean, we have full bellies now, which is fine.
It's always a positive.
I've never seen a hyena. I should not want to see one again. Perhaps if we meet another.
Hyenas can be
We'll deal
lovely,
with
lovely creatures. They can be bastards as well. You've got to know your hyena.
As can elves and humans.
And we've yet to determine the hyena's pretense. Those little under things seem like bastards, though. They had it coming.
But delicious, no?
But they're very delicious, very warm. Where are your sleeves? Look little old man.
I'm
Have you warmed up now?
I can get my jacket off just so you stop touching me.
You have some red on your arm.
Oh.
I now have a small antler sticking out the top of my
So you are setting off
I think
after with full bellies and after some talk, all soaking wet, and you are heading south.
we're gonna head south, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Avoid man's mass trespass, everybody.
So, hang on, that's not the right thing. Yes, there we go. So we run our own AV here. We have
Yeah.
backroom staff.
Definitely. We need some more volunteers.
Yeah, we do. We're actually recruiting for runners.
Yeah, for runners,
unpaid runners at the moment.
The rest of you getting paid?
We pay him properly.
Yeah. Broccoli.
After an hour or so, travelling south away from the river, the track
No horses.
The track intersects a wider, more well-trodden road. There is a large stone embedded in the earth at the side of the larger road. The stone's ashen complexion, unique against the sandstone boulders and vapid backdrop. Skillfully engraved in the stone is an arrow pointing northeast toward Callus, C-A-L-U-S, Callus. The first sign of any civilization for quite some time. The narrower dirt path continues south.
So we carry on down the path.
What does the word say? Is it a place?
South.
You likely know this place. You may not have been there, but you're aware that it's a town, a human town, a fairly big human town in the area. It's a little way away from where you are used to, but you are aware of it.
Right. I think we should stick to the path. Yeah, it's a town just along the way. I know of it, but
Okay.
This
Oh.
dirt path we're thinking, are we?
The paper
There's a
says
small
to
dirt
head
path.
south.
yeah, follow.
Avoid man's mass trespass.
I think that means the main road.
I have no problem
Either the main
avoiding
road or the town, but
Okay, so you're continuing south. Continuing along the dusty plain, the rain finally begins to ease. Hang on, let me make this rain ease. Everyone ready for the easing of the rain? Check this out.
Oh,
Ease.
suspense.
Consider it eased. There you
Baby.
go, that's that done.
That's good.
With the magic of cinema. The savoury aromas of petrichor. I had to look that up. Anyone know what petrichor is?
No idea.
No, I don't.
Type of dubstep.
It's that. It's
Charred hyena sleeve.
it's the. You see, learn something here as well. It's the specific
That's what they logged in.
smell, kind of savoury smell after rain.
Oh, lovely.
Petrichor.
Petrichor.
I have no idea if that's pronounced.
Well,
Continuing along the dusty plain. Sorry, we'll get back into the world, back into the mystique. Continuing along the dusty plain, the rain finally begins to ease. The savoury aromas of petrichor overtaking the now still night skies.
you put something new into my brain. Now I can't remember what my middle name is.
You see, you see a vulture looking for scraps around the cadaver of a small mammal in the middle of the track.
Is it a rabbit, an antlered rabbit with the print of a staff across it?
You can investigate.
Yes, okay, I'll go over and investigate, shooing off the bird as I get closer.
Okay, anything in particular you're looking for?
Signs of how the creature died.
Okay, can you make a medicine check, please? As you approach it, it instantly becomes clear that it's another hyena.
+2, 6.
6.
Yeah.
It is dead. It is a dead hyena.
Right.
This parrot is deceased.
It's hyena. It's dead.
It's also incredibly dark at the moment. So without any natural light
Just going
source,
by moonlight.
it's actually even harder for you to have done that, but you failed anyways.
Okay.
Maybe that was why.
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
I'm fairly sure there's a dead hyena down here somewhere. I've just put my foot in it.
I think you may be the only one with that dark vision as well, so probably the best one to do that investigation.
Marvellous.
Look at the
Anybody else want to come and have a
scent
look?
of petrichor and dead hyena.
Strangely enough, that's the name of my aftershave.
I don't know if it's of any work, but I think Clara will also check the body. Dark vision.
Yep, so again, medicine roll.
14 plus 3, 17.
See, it's dead, isn't it?
As you investigate it and looking closely, you make out some small, what look like bite marks in some of the bones around the neck of the hyena. So you can actually see the exposed flesh and bone. Blood has poured out, and on the bone it looks like bite marks.
He relays that to the group.
Mm-hmm.
He's very much got his hands in the flesh and around the bone. He's all close. He's quite. He looks like he's well versed in this. Relays that he's got heavy bite marks on it.
The vulture, as you're looking around, the vulture kind of eventually flies away.
But maybe
It
he
hangs
from
around
the
for a
vulture.
You don't believe it's from the vulture. They look like teeth marks.
This looks to be with food in his mouth.
He's eating some of it.
I can taste vulture and
Petrichor.
But he's still being killed by another creature.
Is it fresh?
Relatively. I mean, yeah. You can make a. You made a 17 investigation.
Yeah.
You're confident it's died within the last 24, 48 hours, probably.
Cool.
You can tell from the blood, like whether it's.
Yeah, not too much of us. There is still blood there. Hasn't been washed away.
It's
Things-
relatively fresh.
Things eat each other all the time, and it's not worried about it.
I've seen much death.
Hmm.
I'm not surprised.
They take a rib.
So you reach in and eventually snap a rib off. Not the easiest thing in the world, but eventually you manage to pull it away with your blooded hands.
just by touching it, it starts to rot, and then you can pull it away.
You said
Slap of the rib over the top.
was there, just in memory of it.
Okay,
Continue on.
Yeah.
you continue on. A few more hours travel through the unrelenting expanse. You break for refreshment under a hazel tree in the now crisp night air.
Lovely.
You wonder how much longer you must travel this lonely path. Zolan, you spot a small piece of wool stuck to a branch about 7 foot from the floor. It seems to catch and glisten. Catch and glisten in the moonlight. Another one of you, we'll say someone taller, no less, you reach up and as you touch it, it gives you goosebumps and a warm feeling for the first time in some time. What, as you've travelled for many miles and for a number of hours now, what is the atmosphere, or what conversation, if any, is taking place?
I think Nolus is just really curious. He's probably asking a lot of inane questions. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot about him. He seems to be really interested in people, but not really like asking anything in particular. It just seems like rapid fire questioning rather than like taking any information in.
Claire is very concerned with his notes and scriptures, just checking his bag very often. He's not very interested in talking to pretty much anyone but the gnome, because he's never really met a gnome before, and you're not a human or an elf, so that seems, you seem friendly enough.
Pretty friendly. I'm pretty tired. I'm an old.
Plus, you're
man. This
walking
is-
3 times as far as the rest of us.
Yeah, Jesus, this is bloody. This is some pace we're setting here for a little lad. But I don't mind keeping up with the pace.
Perhaps we're discussing what's on the scroll and maybe what it means.
Yeah. I'm wondering about weird wit and
Shimmering hands point to the path. Who knows?
I don't know, maybe this is a shimmering woman.
This might still be man's mass trespassing.
I think we're probably
Probably last night.
probably. No, I think we're on the trespass mode.
So this wool that gave me a warm feel, like warm as in a good feeling, or warm as in like physically hot?
Yeah, it made you just shudder with just a little bit of warmth, and it's almost not like your home, but what you would imagine as a homely feeling as you touched it. It's made you feel nice.
Malcolm, as we've been walking along, has tended to be at the lead of the party, not that much interested in conversation, although listening intently to these two as they're talking about their scrolls, and just generally tending to be at the front, not giving orders, not overtly being in charge, but definitely a tendency to be at the front.
He's not a headbutter, is he? We haven't got a common trend.
Not yet.
I've been back. I've just been in awe of all things. Just kind of wonder, and like in the middle of all the wonder, just like really wondering about these scrolls. Why do you all have these weird bits of paper? And like, how do you guys treat animals in your home planet?
Planet?
Strangers from afar. Just to understand, and then very much keeping away from these sleeveless people.
Nice man of sleeves, are you? Would you stand on the robes? They're like body sleeves.
You press on.
That's on, yeah.
While you can still be conversing.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened
Actually,
to this
man.
weird thing.
I bloody love robes.
Oh no, I stuck to the other side. Claro.
As
Share with me, please.
As the night turns cooler, your feet begin to ache. You discover something that instantly breaks the monotony of the sprawling plain. A single, spectacular, sweet gum tree. Quite out of place in the still night air, without so much as an insect chirp for company. It's dazzling in its elegance, quite unlike any other tree that you have encountered. Its leaves dancing with grandeur in the moonlight, as if made of the purest, polished silver. The dirt track seems to conclude.
That's something you don't see every day.
No.
That's a very fancy tree.
This is a wonderful journey. I feel like I'm in an amusement park at the moment. It's great.
Perhaps this is the shimmering hand that they know speak, so.
Points to path where the little fingers.
Shimmering hands point to the path with their opulent fingers. Fools go through, but sage observe to go beneath the impasse. Lead bravely into the dark, follow the draft. Find your genesis. It's cryptic.
Not good.
I have never seen such a magical tree, and I must climb this tree.
Okay. So you attempt to climb it if you don't make an acrobatics roll.
No.
20, that isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a natural 20, so it doesn't matter. You can't get any.
20 plus whatever.
You watch this wood elf just glide up this tree as if walking. It just is not impeded by it in any way.
Absolutely off the trunk.
Can you see anything from up there?
Can I see anything from up there?
Can you see anything from up there?
You can make a perception roll.
Can I say what your elbows.
Oh!
You're welcome.
No, you can't.
18.
18. You look around, and other than this dirt track, which clearly concludes here, everything looks fairly plain. You're on a plain. There's you do see some kind of
Shut up.
you do make out some. It's not perfectly flat. I'm on a plane. It's not perfectly featureless. There are some marks around you. You'd notice something perhaps to the east. There's maybe some scuffs somewhere in the ground, possibly. But the thing that really gains your attention more than anything when you're up there is right in front of you. You, as somebody who knows the forest, amazingly, all of the 5-pronged leaves on this metallic silver tree are pointing the same direction, which you've never seen before. They're pointing east.
He's never seen a direction before?
I've never seen a tree before.
This is a really big tree. Hey guys! This is the most magical tree I've ever seen! It's like a double rainbow! All the places in the east point east! We must go east! Do you scrolls say east? Your interior scrolls east?
Well, the scrolls.
East? We must go east!
Shut up! The scrolls have suddenly got a lot less cryptic.
Do we trust a strange wood elf on a tree in the night telling us to go east?
I trust the tree.
He hasn't even got.
Yeah, he hasn't even got a scroll. I trust the tree.
I don't know how much I trust the elf. It does say shimmering hands point to the path of opulent fingers.
There are some shimmering hands up here, pointing east.
I dare say it's obvious. East is perhaps the way we should go.
Yeah. From his point of view at the top of the tree, can he see anything in the east? Is there anything that
You should ask him.
tracks paths? Is there anything you can see in that direction?
I can see some kind of scuffles. That's it.
Right.
Just scuffles, like something's been there.
Well, I think we should rest here for a while, because I can tell our small friend here is suffering somewhat with the pace.
Do you need more sleeves?
Don't need any sleeves!
For one thing, his tiredness is obviously getting to his voice.
The old little train
This
for
is a-
weeks.
Yeah.
I'll work on it. You know, we'll get there. I will work on it.
I like it.
I did warn some people this would happen. I don't do accents, and it would just go round to all sorts of things. I'm a well-travelled man. I've worked in the place.
So you're breaking for a rest?
I think so, yeah.
And is it a short rest or is it a long rest?
Nobody needs to.
I feel fine.
Mm.
I'm gonna wait till the DM to tell me whether I feel fine or not.
You have, so in terms of your journey, you have been travelling long enough that you all feel tired enough that you can sleep.
Okay.
I could see it.
Okay.
You've been travelling for some time. Some of you more than for many days.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a 4-hour meditation. Which should equal a long rest for you inferior beings.
That's true. Are you in the tree?
I'm in the tree. I'm at the top of the tree.
Elves are assholes.
And how are you guys breaking camp?
Claire will probably just lean up against the tree, sit down, go through his many scrolls, looking at the numerous symbols that you might see, and you can't make head nor tail.
Yeah, Norris is going to be fairly close by, kind of looking at this and be like, you write a lot of things down. Are these your writings?
He doesn't want to talk to you.
Norris obviously seems quite uncomfortable at the idea of sleeping. So he kind of just wanders around aimlessly for a little while, and maybe just like collapses on the floor in almost like a plank-like fashion, and does something that's not entirely sleep.
Okay.
Just rolls around the tree.
Yeah.
Zolan's just gonna find the softest piece of grass he can. I had no bedroll. I have.
There's
no
not a huge amount of grass around. You're on a dusty. This is like a dusty
Is
plain.
anything to lean against?
There's a silvery tree.
I can give you a bedroll.
I don't want
It's
your
made
bedroll.
of hyena.
I don't want your bedroll. I'm
It's
afraid.
made of old hyena.
Oh, I'm not
No,
that
I
time.
can give you a normal bedroll.
I'm still all right, thanks. I don't want to catch.
I have a bedroll.
This
I'm
guy.
gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys are not winning me over here.
I have a bedroll.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm just going to sit down with my back up against my backpack and just sort of
I
relax.
can
for a
I'm
bit.
asleep in the bedroll sideways. Don't need the full length. Just
Fine.
need a little bit on the end.
So you're all sleeping through the night.
As best we can.
So Norris will only sleep
I mean, I get my hit
4
points
hours.
back.
You will do, yeah. If it's a long rest, is there a long? If it's a long, you will do, yeah. You'll get your.
Or you'll get your spell
Yeah.
slot back as well. So you cast a level 1 spell.
Oh yeah, I
to
did.
get
Yeah.
that.
You,
That guy did.
fortunately for you all, as you sleep under the stars, under the clear sky, which says it's a clear sky. I don't even know if there are stars. But as you sleep under the clear sky, the rain does not start again, and it's a relatively dry evening. From time to time, one of you might open an eye thinking you hear noises, perhaps the rustling from the trees, perhaps the wind. But as the night passes on, you manage to get through to the morning. As the sun rises, you will naturally come around at roughly similar times underneath the now illuminated silvery tree, the light now reflecting in all directions off of it. It's blinding to you in the tree as the sun rises.
Malcolm is very appreciative of the tree.
Like, Clara would either wake with a jump, a moment of clarity, you know, and woken up, almost kind of when he's like finally not hungover, and he's confused, and the previous day was a bit of a blur, and who are you all? Why am I here? What is going on?
You okay, friend?
Yeah.
Do I know you?
Well, you don't know me as such. We met yesterday.
Why are you blue? What's wrong with your skin? What's wrong with your skin?
I've made myself a hair visor from the face of a hare to shield myself from the blinding tree. Do you mean the hair?
What's wrong with your face?
Oh, this is the plague of my village. I am
Everybody takes a step
The only
away.
elf affected. This is a plant plague. I'm not sure why I am affected.
I'm not sure why you're telling me.
So only
I'm very
only you are affected out of your whole village.
I mean, I know why I'm affected. This is why I'm here.
Okay.
It's a mysterious plague, and we have plenty of time to.
Good.
What is this strange tree?
I forget the name. I don't know.
Okay,
We don't know.
the memories come back. It's a blur, but he's a bit not very aware why he's
Just
here.
out of curiosity, I mean, why are you seem to have no memory of last night?
It's a blur. It was a strange day. There was rain, much
Well-
rain.
You remember the hyenas?
I remember a creature being kicked very far. Yeah, and a long travel to a log.
Yeah.
And
We stabbed an animal to death
the
together.
cold.
It was beautiful.
The log was nature's revenge.
But these feel like someone else's memories. I know not you people, but
Okay.
we're here. I have my scroll. I have my.
We followed the scroll. We followed the scroll. That's why we're here.
Ah, this is from the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Well then.
Malcolm pulls out his dagger, his
Right.
backpack, and cuts one of the 5-fingered leaves off the tree.
Okay.
Puts it in his backpack.
Oh.
You notice as you cut it from the tree that no matter how you hold it or which way you turn it, it always points east.
Now, that's interesting. Okay.
Very interesting.
Bouncing leaf. May I take my scimitar and make a small, unnoticeable incision into the bark and see if I can extract some sap into one of my herbalism vials?
Okay.
Full of nails here.
So
I'm tiling down again.
Little set of stick men all in a row. One little tiny one.
so you can use your herbalism kit to do exactly that.
Yeah, maybe my clippers. I'll just pick my clippers a little bit and then.
Extract some. So you have you successfully managed to extract some sap. That takes a little while, but you can fill maybe a quarter of your vial with the sap.
Come on then, friends. Celeste favors the strong. We should go.
I guess we go the direction that the twigs are.
Is that what
pointing.
the paper says then? Yeah. We go east.
Yep. That's what it says on the scroll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shimmering hands. Point to the path. The devil.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, holding the little twig and leaf in his hand, we go that way.
Okay.
They set off.
So
Well, at least I set off. I'm not
Yeah.
bothering to see if they're following me. I'm just going.
So you begin to head east as you follow the direction of the leaves. Are you holding your leaf or is it in your backpack?
Yeah, so
Using it as a
I was going to put it in my backpack, but now that I've discovered that it seems to be some sort of compass, I am using it to lead our way.
Okay. You walk further in this dusty plain, repetitive, monotonous, dusty plain. You realise relatively quickly that there's a very loose form of trail that's here. It doesn't start for a while, so it seems like there's this gap between where the tree is and where this path kind of picks up, but it perfectly follows the direction of the silver leaf.
Cool.
It continues on for a period of time. It seems like it's forever and ever, and your legs are tired and weary. You've walked so far, some of you. After 5, 6, 7 miles of tracking further, you suddenly, the very narrow dirt path suddenly stops at a mass of thick brush. It's large. This brush extends a few 100 feet, probably, and it seems to the path just seems to stop suddenly, right up against this particular bush or brambles.
Time to read the little paper.
It seems relatively. It appears almost impossible for you to continue on.
Can I investigate for alternative paths near this, like the thick group?
I say we cut our way through. Let's cut a hole in it.
Don't think that's a good idea.
It's 13 plus 5, 18.
18. So as you're investigating all around where this path just stops, you're looking.
He's talking to himself. He's alternative ways. I know. I'll try and look.
So you're looking around, you're looking at the bush, you're looking at the floor, you're looking around, and after After a short while, of scavenging on the floor, you manage to find a thick, very camouflaged cloth drape exactly underneath the bush where the path ends. If you pull it aside, you see a dark hole. Not sheer, but a sloping hole.
Into the dark.
Can you tell? Vision out.
Get dark vision on.
I found this way. I found this way under it. It's as it says. As it says in the text, the
Yeah.
fools go through, but the sage observes to go beneath the impasse.
Let's go. Let's go.
It was obvious. It was obvious. It was obvious.
Are you crazy?
Uh,
Thank you.
Are you?
I've never seen a man so little.
Nollis is gonna light up his shield,
Is this what we call man?
and he's gonna go straight into the hole.
No, I wasn't going to go first because I can't see where I'm going, but I'll follow him down.
Yeah, Clara will follow.
Do I have to duck now on it?
And
You're the only one that can stand up
So-
straight down here.
Oh, I'm loving it.
so you're sorry. I'll just get your order. So it was you're in first.
Yeah. And me.
Good Clara.
Are you still Clara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
I'm gonna do some skits.
I'm just checking out the bush.
so you're still looking around at the bush.
So it's just
It's bracken. It's almost overgrown. Brambles. Not a particularly attractive bush. It's just dense.
I think I just kind of see that everyone's gone
And Zolan, I guess you're fourth
Yeah, happy.
in the queue. Okay. Instantly, as you start to descend into this pitch black tunnel, the light is from behind you, but as you close that cloth drape back over you in that last position, just darkness falls over this tunnel.
Apart from directly in front.
Directly in front of
Shield.
you is illuminated by the blue shield for 20 feet in front of you, and as you look,
We have dark vision anyway, right?
yeah, you see
Scary creatures.
you see a 10-foot
Millipede.
millipede. You arrive. You are in a 10-foot counter along.
I sent you all a letter.
You're in a 10-foot diameter, almost perfectly cylindrical tunnel.
Definitely a big one.
That's a big
It's-
millipede.
It's.
Do we check its circularity, or are we short?
I mean, there are. It's not perfect. There are imperfections, but it's pretty consistently. There's not a flat floor. It's a rounded floor the whole way.
Based on
height
a
almost.
13 investigation, how round is it?
Pretty round. Yeah, pretty round.
Pretty round.
The thing that's unusual to you is that the floor isn't flat. It's yeah. It's
Does
round
it
the whole way.
smell like worm poo?
I mean, you can make a perception roll,
Oh, you don't want me to take a perception roll, I think.
probably with disadvantage because you don't know what
Oh,
worm poo
actually,
smells
okay.
like.
Cool. With disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh lord, not split. So that'd be 16, a 7. I don't know what worm poo
Okay.
smells.
Yeah, you haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
I don't think you even know what a worm is.
Don't think so.
Malcolm
Oh,
licks his finger and holds it up. See if he can feel any breeze going through the tunnel.
Yeah. So as you do so, yeah, make a perception roll.
Oh, shite. That's perception. Oh, that's 4.
4. Initially, as you do that, you cannot feel anything straight away other than what's from behind you because you've just come from fresh air.
From
behind you.
Very angry.
Yes. You
Moist.
you realise that it's cylindrical. It's incredibly dark, other than the light that we have. There's a dampness to the area, slightly damp you detect in the air, or more of a humidity possibly than a dampness, and it just seems to continue on.
Nollis will push on.
Yeah. So you walk. You know, you marching quickly. You being cautious. What are you doing?
Nollis is,
Following the guys in front.
yeah, he's pretty bravely marching on. He's going to occasionally say things like, "Do people often get eaten by cave creatures in this kind of area?"
Not that I've heard of.
I've never been there.
From where I'm from, you don't go in the dark tunnels. They're normally filled with things. With
This
teeth.
is a tunnel.
Yeah.
This what you call this, a tunnel?
Well, the only
Well, something-
tunnels I know are filled with
Something
water.
dug this out.
It's going to be fine. It'll be fine. Celeste has our back. It'll be fine.
You feel.
I'm ready for something to happen.
Okay, so you have an alert.
I'm somewhat alert to the fact that I am fully cognizant of the fact that this is probably made by some sort of creature that is at least 8 feet in diameter.
I'm passively alert.
Okay.
I want to chill.
So you continue on a little bit further, and you do start. There is an occasional. It's not consistent, but there's an occasional cool breeze which does roll down this tunnel and you've been walking for what feels like a mile, a couple of miles further, an hour probably passes, and you feel this cool breeze, and which is a bit of a relief because the deeper you go into it, the kind of muggier it gets. It's just, the air's thick, it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, man, but it's a dry heat.
It's incredibly echoey. Every little noise makes you kind of jump because you're kind of all on edge a bit. It's a very unfamiliar, peculiar location you're in.
It's a long time since we've seen some weather. Anyone want to know what the weather's like right now? Anyone? No?
No.
Okay.
Just checking.
Just checking.
Trying to keep spirits up.
Moving
After another hour, it feels like it's hard to tell the
on.
time.
One hell of a tunnel.
You're used to this. You're right. It's a very, very long, winding tunnel.
There's no indication of any sort of offshoots, any.
Been clean, cylindrical the whole way down. You're all very aware of just how far back the entrance was, and how, the situation you'll find yourselves in.
As we're walking along, I'm looking around the sort of walls of the tunnel. Is there anything that gives any indication of whether it was dug out or chewed out or?
But you wish you had stone cunning.
That would have been useful, yes.
Yeah, so if you
Mud cunning.
yes, if you can please make I'd say an investigation roll.
Are you musing this out loud, or are you just...
Yes, I'm muttering to this. Well, yes, I'm suggesting that
I dropped myself.
anybody got any idea of what might have done this?
So before you do that,
He's already done it. It's not before.
Too late.
That's a 16 for
16.
investigation.
You are. It's surprisingly smooth. So it doesn't necessarily look like there's been any tools as such. You don't think. Not ones that you'd be aware of anyway.
I think
Maybe it's hard to say if it's natural or if something's created it. You're not totally sure, but it doesn't look man-made.
I'm going with creature. I think we're. What do you think?
Have you seen the scene in Labyrinth? Where there's that spinning like tunnel thing?
A load of hymns pushing it.
That's what I see.
What were you going to say, Nillis? Before it happened?
Does any of this look familiar to you?
No, absolutely not. I was just going to say that Celeste wants to help you in the investigation. I could have helped out. Don't know. Too late. Celeste is my god. It's the god I wish for.
You press on.
There's more than one.
I was going to say the big toothed monster in front of you has something to say. That cold breeze is its nice toothed monster fox.
After a minute or two more, continuing on. Who's that?
Hello.
Who's that? Show yourself.
Not hiding,
This is
friend.
from in front of you. It's echoing down this corridor or this tunnel from ahead of you. It sounds,
the voice.
yeah, you can't see who it is at the moment. It just sounds a distance away. What's that light? Who is it?
In common.
It's in
In
common.
common.
We're not hiding, friend. Come on down. Say look.
Who is it?
We have plenty of sleeves.
I will kill you where you are. Who is it?
Oh well, you're gonna have to come and try it, friend.
We were invited here.
Hey, let me fight this man. He doesn't know who we are.
We fought everything.
You start
so
to
far.
see some figures. Those of you with dark vision, it's too, even with the light, you haven't got any vision on it. You start to see some, you make out some figures maybe 80 feet in front of you, coming just, they're shapeless figures really at the moment. It's hard to make them out in the dark. And there's more than one.
How big are they?
Roughly humanoid. Yeah. Don't play with me! Who are you? And he's calling from down this corridor.
We're not playing any games, friend. Come on down here.
We are armed and we will kill you. Tell me who you are now.
I haven't met
Still
anyone who
walking
isn't
towards you.
armed, friend.
We're not here to cause any trouble. We're just trying to make our way through.
My friend's not here to cause any trouble.
And why are you here? They've stopped. And you can just about make out the lead character in this group. You can certainly see at least 3 or so bodies there. This lead character seems to have longish hair and looks about human shape. That's all you can make out at this point. Tell me, what are you doing here? Who are you?
I don't think we have a common name, to be honest. We're a group of people who met each other. Some of us have invitations to a place. As far as I'm concerned, Celeste has sent me so far on this journey. If you stand in my way, friend, I will have to cut you down.
I don't think you know who you're messing with.
There's only one way to find out. Come down here.
Hey guys, I think we have one of you. Hey, I've forgotten your name.
Malcolm.
Is he not one of you?
I don't know. I can't see him.
One of
Are
your
you human,
kind?
friend?
He looks very much like you.
They're moving closer, and you can now make out that one of them behind the person in front, which looks to be a female, is holding a drawn bow. And they're just slowly walking towards you. There's another 2 figures you can see there. Tricky again, this is probably 60, 70 feet away, and they're just kind of slightly forming and coming into view.
How many did you say, sorry? 2.
You've seen at least 4 bodies so far.
Cool.
We're not here to cause any trouble. We just want to make our way through.
And where do you think you're heading?
I can't remember the name of the town.
Weird.
Weirdwit, that's the place.
And what business do you have with Weirdwit?
Safety.
Invitation.
Show me.
Oh,
And
cool.
they're stepping forward. They're stepping forward a little bit closer.
Be careful, little hairy man
I'll
child.
just.
The man is
I'll
spoiling
walk
for
with
a fight.
We're sending a child.
As you hold up,
Bearded child.
as you hold up your scroll, the character in the front says, "Oh, it's just more," and just lowers his hand. Lower your bow, and the lady behind him just lowers her bow down a little, and they walk up closer to you. You now can make out 4 different individuals. You can see in the front what appears to be a human, certainly human, very similar to a human appearance. Long brown hair, kind of a small, almost ratty face, wearing some loose-fitting clothes, and he seems to have been the one that's been communicating with you in the front. Doesn't seem to be holding a weapon of any kind. The lady behind him is hooded. She has a green hood on and a green tunic, and she was the one who had the bow drawn. She actually had 3 arrows knocked in that bow simultaneously. So she kind of has that bow lowered. You can't see too much of her face. She's pretty well covered by that hood. You see a character to the right of the two of them, who's dark-skinned, long, almost kind of braided black hair, pushed back but almost bald at the sides, like a braided long Mohican of sorts. And this character is kind of looking down, eyes looking up at you all. Seems poised, if you were to try anything, as it were. You can kind of see him with his hand on a blade, and then filling the tunnel and almost having to crouch behind them all. Certainly height-wise, you see a creature which none of you have ever seen before, which is green-skinned, a lizard-like face, humanoid, scaled arms, scaled shoulders and neck.
Still
large,
guy. Look at it.
Large, almost frills coming on his scalp, pulling backwards, and you can see 2 huge wings tucked away behind his back. You can make a history roll, please. And you can make a history roll.
It's 11.
6. 8.
8. Okay. The figure looks. It's kind of familiar. You've seen drawings almost, or something. You've seen. It's almost like a childhood story or something like that you can remember. It has similarities to emblems in the Equine military, which you've seen. That's the only thing that comes to you at first. But you've never seen a creature like this before.
Yeah, those symbols have I seen on Aqua City?
It doesn't come to you like it does to Malcolm. Okay, carry on. They start walking. Come.
The smaller humanoid 3, do I recognise any of them?
I was just going to say, I don't. Yeah.
Of any of them, so you can make anyone who wants to can make an insight roll.
Yeah, I have to roll.
17.
Join the party.
I'm going to lend you my skull.
Yes. 3. 4.
Can I trade entrance for goods and services?
5.
It's fine. No.
I'm going to say.
Are we pushing by them?
They're kind of walking towards you.
Yeah. You say more of others come through?
Yes, you're here for Weirdwood, yes?
Yeah. Do you know Goric?
Yes.
Fair enough.
You know Garrick?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's the one.
down there.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, he's the one who told me to come here.
Good.
Okay. Say hello from me.
Dinner. Weasel.
You're Scottish now?
I'm everything.
Okay. Come now. See you later. And they start to just try and slide beside you, basically.
Cool.
Getting past, if you let them past, getting past the first 3 are simple enough. You just sidestep, there's plenty of room. The large creature, which is, you realise as it comes past, it's hulking. This is a huge, great creature. Really impressive. Like this is one of the biggest, most impressive creatures you've ever seen. It's remarkable. And it walks past you, and it kind of you all would have to turn, sort of press against the wall just to allow it to come by. You're probably all right.
Between his legs.
As it walks past, I was
Sexy as
just
you
going
go
to say, it's a shame I didn't get to fight your friend. It would have been glorious.
He just turns his head to the side. This deep sound comes from inside it, and you see its scale. It's almost like a scale armor to it, and it's kind of glistening.
Nothing like what he's wearing.
Off of your blue light.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some ways similar. In some ways. It's kind of glistening off of your blue light, and you hear it stepping, big heavy steps. The others go by, and as you let them walk by, the female just looks directly up and just takes one real quick glance at all of you, and just puts her head back down again. You realise up close the dark-skinned character. He looks at you a bit kind of bit dismissively, almost kind of sizing you up, as it were, to see if you see what you're about, and doesn't look too worried by any of you really. And then the and then the large lizardy winged creature steps on past you. Have fun! They call on, and laugh into themselves, and carry on.
You seem nice.
I don't have a scroll. Is that important?
You
come all this way without a scroll?
You're welcome to continue on.
Yeah.
Onwards.
You press on further for another, what feels like another mile. It's this long tunnel. You wonder where you're going to, emerge. After a little
so
while.
Much faster to swim.
After a little while.
You look like you were enjoying that stream so much.
It's very cold. Is all water like that?
Only the cold water.
You finally start to sense a pinprick of light from the other end. It seems bright, but as you get a little bit closer to the light, your eyes start to adjust, and the light is actually a little dimmer than it first seemed. It was just your eyes reacting to that change in light. It seems to be the end of the tunnel, and as you get closer and closer, you feel this relief that you literally see the light at the end of the tunnel. With maybe 100 meters to go before you get to the end of this tunnel, you notice somebody lying at the entrance of it, just lying still. You approach.
Yeah.
Hi, sleepy friend.
As you get to this figure, pretty quickly you recognise the figure as Goric, as the as the dwarf, dark-skinned dwarf that you have met before. It's the first time you've seen one of these dark-skinned dwarves. You've not met these before. This is not something any of you four have encountered other than yourself. He's lying there. Very quickly you realise that he's in some distress. You realise he's got enlarged veins in his arms, in one arm, on his right arm. You realise that he is, with your blue light that you still have on, he looks incredibly blue, and you suspect that he's actually bluer than he should be from your previous viewing of him. He's silent.
That's normal to me.
And you realise that there's a big red swelling on his arm, about the size of maybe a golf ball. He is lying there and appears to be struggling.
Okay.
And that is where we will leave the end of our first starring. There we bloody go.
There we go.
That's
marvellous.
There's one broccoli left. Who's going to claim the last broccoli?
There you go, got it.
King of broccoli. Thank you. That's how we end all our sessions.
A cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Or a tunnel hanger.
Thank everybody. Well, let me thank all my players for creating their sheets, because that was stressful as like. None of us knew what we were doing. Thank you, anyone who tuned in the view. I have no idea how many people were there, but I'm sure I'll find out afterwards.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for anyone who came to watch this peculiar extravaganza that we call Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back at the same time next week.
Tune in next week.
I believe,
What
unless
to
anyone
say?
can't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Same that place.
that's the one. So 7:30 UK time next Tuesday for episode 2 of DieRolling. And then is that stopped?
Turn the rain
Oh,
up.
still
Turn
here?
the rain up a
We're
little
still
bit.
here?
Turn the rain up.
What are you doing?
So then I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
just
close
have it.
that.
We're going
Close
to
that. There we go.
we
Close
go.
that. See you next week.
See you next week.
It's not a Mexican way, it's only to do the trick.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade.
Mom!
Hang on, we didn't get any lemonade.